Welcome back to another video inside the locker room. Today we are talking about the draft that just happened, first round only, and we're going to be talking about the winners and losers of the draft and everyone that fell in the first round late and people that fell into the second round
Uh,
and the biggest sleepers.
yeah. So obviously last night was crazy. It was very unpredictable with the trades. We said trades were gonna be firing off the board immediately, and they were. There was definitely no exception to that. Just guys all around the board that could have been considered sleepers, could have been considered falling reaches as well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start off with my winners. My first three winners, obviously, I have one as the Texans. Texans getting their guy in C.J. Stroud, that franchise quarterback, and then also going up, trading back in, getting Will Anderson at that three spot to get their guy on defense and their guy on offense. Shock a lot of the people around that were at the draft, a lot of analysts, a lot of broadcasters, myself and you, I'm guessing included. Just looking up and seeing them getting both guys. I mean, this is like top guys on the board, top guys in college, hands down. So just be able to do that is insane. So my second winner is the Patriots being able to actually trade back and gain some capital later in the draft and still come away with Christian Gonzalez, a guy that I had going sixth overall, and get him at that 17 spot. That's great value for the Patriots there. Bill Belichick. The third winner are the Eagles, obviously. They jumped out one spot to get Jalen Carter, a guy that fell on the board a little bit to 9, landed right in their lap to Howie Roseman. And then you go all the way back to 30, and they get Nolan Smith, another Georgia guy, fourth Georgia defender they have drafted in 2 years. Those are my three winners. What about yours, Connor?
All right, so with my first winner, I'm going to say the Vikings are a winner here. They have a receiver like Jordan Addison, which in my opinion is my favorite receiver in the draft class, fall all the way down to them in 23. Like the four receivers were Najigaba, Quinn Johnson, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison. Out of all those four, I like Jordan Addison the best. So him falling
Me
to the
too.
Vikings is personally my favorite. Better for them. I mean, and then my second winner is gonna be the Steelers. The Steelers are gonna get Broderick Jones early. He's like was one of my favorite linemen in the draft too.
He's
And
raw.
then they're gonna go into the second round, basically have a first round pick because of the Dolphins tampering, and
Okay,
get Joey
okay,
Bosa.
okay, 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 okay,
I have to
okay,
say, I mean, then
okay.
they're gonna fall and they're gonna get Joey Porter in the second round, which
Yeah,
is a first round cornerback easily.
I'd be very shocked if that's not who they take at 32.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then third winner, ah, I'm gonna have to go with the running backs, like just the running backs in general, like for their positions, because running backs have been recently taken a little bit earlier. You got Bijan falling at 8, top 10 running back, and then you got
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs falling at 12. That's just for like the college running backs, seeing like how far and early they can go now, and like how the NFL is seeing how the running backs are gonna do and picking them more early.
I mean, yeah, the running backs saw. Oh, we didn't see a running back in the first round last year. Now we got two in the top 15. So, but my
And
top three.
you've seen how they done. Like you got Saquon, Christian McCaffrey.
Oh yeah,
So
oh yeah. So moving on to the opposite side of the spectrum, top three losers. My first overall loser is the Packers, just because they traded away their franchise QB Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, they still gave up that 15 pick to get the 13. They go up 2 spots, and then at that 13 spot, they take Luke Van Ness. So it's not really that it's a huge loss, or I'm not saying it's a bad pick. It's just they gave away Aaron Rodgers, and they still gave away that 15 spot just to go up to 13 to take a guy that would have easily been there at 15. I mean, he would have been there at like 20 something. But they go up and just take Luke Van Ness. Must be something they really see in that guy. And then my second loser is the Buccaneers. Again, not a bad pick. The guy they picked, Kalijah Cansey, the defensive tackle out of Pitt. Not saying he's a bad guy. Not saying it's a bad pick. It's just risky. You don't really know. Maybe the Bucs, again, they might know something we don't. But the Buccaneers, they stay at that 19th spot with options like Dalton Kincaid on the board, Michael Mayer on the board, and they decided to go defensive tackle when Nolan Smith was on the board, another defensive lineman they could have went. Instead, they go Kalijah Cansey, take him from Pitt, and it's just risky. You don't know. And those are I only had two losers, so those are my two losers. Connor.
all right, so for my first loser, I'm gonna have to go with the Detroit Lions, honestly. Man, I feel like they could have got so much more value at Jahmyr Gibbs. got him later, maybe traded more down to get him, get more picks later, or just stay at 6 and get Bijan. If you're gonna trade down and get Jahmyr Gibbs, you might as well just got a Bijan. I mean, they're gonna have to trade away. I mean, they might trade away DeAndre, or they might play them both, but we'll see how that plays out for them. And then, what was my second loser? I forgot. All right, but my second loser is gonna be the Bills. I love the pick, honestly. I do, I do. But them picking tight end there and like they could have got Najigaba, Quinn Johnson, Zay Flowers, but them all getting picked before them is gonna screw them over. And I think we already have a young tight end like Dawson Knox. Them getting Kincaid. I just feel like Josh Allen really needed a receiver to settle, to level out with Diggs and stuff.
Hey,
To make
Dalton,
him look good.
he's built kind of like a receiver. They might be able to put him out there and stuff, but
I mean, that's what I hope they do.
so that would be nice. But the sleeper picks, the guys that were taken in the first round that might be overlooked, pretty much all three of the guys I mentioned earlier. Jack Campbell, the linebacker, who's valued at like 83 or something on the board, taken at 18 by the Lions there. That makes sense. He flies around the field. He's a hard hitter. He can disrupt pass. That's a Dan Campbell type of player. I mean, they share the same last name. So if you look at it, it makes sense there for the Lions. Jack Campbell, again, then he sees something we don't. Obviously, probably a very gritty player. Second sleeper pick is Luke Van Ness, who I was just named earlier. Again, I think it's a really good pick. It's just for the value, it's kind of odd. It just threw me off in the moment. But Luke Van Ness there, Clay Matthews look alike, honestly. But I think we mentioned that during the draft last night. Clay Matthews look alike. And he can develop into that type of player. He looks like a great guy out of Iowa, so it'd be an exciting edge rusher there. Play lined up outside the tackles, get to the quarterback. And then my third, again, Kalijah Kancey, the defensive tackle pit. Again, it was a good pick, just threw me off a little bit. I feel like you let him develop. You let him play behind those guys they have on that line already. Kalijah Kancey, the last defensive tackle we saw taken out of Pitt was Aaron Donald. So Kalijah Kancey, that's a big comparison, but if he can live up to that hype, he's way valued at 19. I mean, that'd be great for the Bucks. But those are my three sleeper picks. I feel like all three of those guys could have an immediate impact on their teams. They just go develop a little more. And those are my sleeper picks.
So I have my sleeper pick. Honestly, I think the Steelers getting Broderick Jones that late, 14 is sleeper, and Will McDonald the fourth. I feel like the Jets getting him there. I feel like he's gonna be really good for the Jets to go along with their young defense. And honestly, Kincaid, I know I just said the Bills, that's a loser, but he is a sleeper. Like him falling them, that tight end, him falling all the way down to 27, I feel like it's just a sleeper pick for the Bills.
It's just like a hit or miss type of.
Yeah.
Gotta hope they hit. So guys that fell into the second round, obviously, no short of Will Levis. All right, that's all the main one everyone knows. Joey Porter Jr., who's not going to be on the board in the second round for long. He's not even going to be on the board for less than a pick. He's going to the Steelers there at that 32 spot. It would make the most sense. DeJuan Jones, another guy that fell into the second round. So that'll be interesting to see where he goes day two. And I don't know. I'm excited to see what my Dolphins do. Maybe they go tight end. Maybe they go Michael Mayer. Maybe they go Sam Laporta. Maybe they do something. I don't know. We lost 2 tight ends this offseason. It'll be interesting. But those are just the main notable guys who fell into the second round. You have anyone to add on that list?
Michael Mayer, maybe. He fell like a lot. I feel like,
Yeah.
honestly, in my mock, I had Michael Mayer going really early to the Packers, and I feel like I had him doing better than Kincaid, honestly, but he fell down in the second round.
And then guys in the first round that fell more than expected. I have here listed all wide receivers. All wide receivers. I don't want to say like Zay Flowers or something because he went where we expected him to go. But guys like Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jordan Addison, Quinton Johnson, we might have expected them to go a little earlier than 20 off the board to start off that receiver run. I thought the first one might have been like 15, 14, but start them all off at 20 and then they go on a line to 23. That was kind of wild to see. That was not what I was expecting. Nolan Smith to that 30th spot, falling to the Eagles, straight into the lap of Howie Roseman, just to add to that dangerous Eagles defense. The Georgia Bulldogs, that's all they are on defense. It's just the Georgia Bulldogs. And then the final one I have listed is Christian Gonzalez, falling to that 17 spot. I thought he was going to be a Lion for sure at that 12 spot, but they passed on him at 6, passed him on him at 12, and then right into the lap of the Patriots at that 17 spot. Those are my guys that fell in the first round more than expected.
Yeah. I mean, I really, that's really that all that fell. I mean, you got players that fell, like Kincaid fell, obviously.
That's it for us today. You got anything out of this, Connor? Anything to add for the first round recap?
Nah.
No, I mean, there it is. Look out for Will Levis, Hendon Hooker, see where they go tonight. Maybe even round 3 on Saturday. So that's been it for us. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, share this to your dog, to your grandma. And keep God number 1. I'm out.
They gon' do shooters, feeling like it's like a telling them. I feel like broken, feeling